Hi, this is a Reynolds Rap. Don't you love the idea that Spain is going to have a national lottery? And what you do is instead of raising taxes, you buy a ticket to the lottery. Everybody in the country who wants to can buy a ticket. And then they have one person announced in January to win the $1 million lottery. And all the other money covers the expenses of the government. Of course, it'd be our luck that one of the guys cheats. The winner, like we did when we were at radio stations and we were disc jockeys, we'd take the fifth call, and actually we had one of our relatives win the car. No, I didn't ever do that. But this is a good idea to have a national lottery. It would cover a lot of sins. We got to do that. We got to cover a lot of sins. Like Steve Harvey, he's got a lot of sins to cover. See, what happened was Miss Columbia was trying to get into his pants. That's what it was. So am I. I'm trying to get into his pants too. I found them over at Walmart, the Steve Harvey collection. A lot of people want to get in his pants. It could be a big mistake. Hillary Clinton, speaking of getting into pants, she's wearing pants. She shows a little leg. She's got a better shot at the election, I think. But I don't know, is Bill Clinton going to be the first man? Is that how that goes? It's all a pilot program. And speaking of that, I'm on a pilot now called 98.6 with Ellen Evans and Rollin Smith. It's a new television show. And I think that this should probably be presented to NBC. But of course, they've had so many failed pilots, they could probably take that program over at JetBlue, which is training people who don't fly to be pilots. Do you know they're doing that? I was going to sign up for that. Of course, I'd want only the West Coast if I'm going to be a pilot, because I don't want to deal with passengers or baggage. I just want to fly meat. And you don't have to give any flight instructions. You don't have to deal with any attitude. Just flying meat. That's the important thing. And this here is my screen test. Speaking of pilot programs, see, these are puns. I'm going to go to pun hell when I die. I hope I go to heaven. The Pope was on television, not looking too good these days. See, all this trouble started, we have a wonderful country until the Pope arrived. And then after that, it was potpourri. Everybody started arguing and fighting again. That's because he stands for peace, and we usually kill people who stand for peace, like John Kennedy and Martin Luther King and John Lennon. Anybody that gets too peaceful, we can't stand the heat, I think. Isn't that awful? That's awful. That's an old feeling that I have. And I think this Pope here is starting to look a little haggard. But then I was talking to someone, and she said, well, popes are old. And I said, yeah, that's right, they are. They start out old. And they ought to have a young pope. We need to have a small pope who's not very imposing, like a Pope Peep. Just a little guy who's young and vibrant and sings country music. Anyway, that's it. It's my Reynolds Rap. I'm busy getting into Steve Harvey's pants. I don't know, what size am I anyway?